There's been a multi-decade craze for cardiovascular exercise, and it's been said to be the absolute best thing one can do to promote health. Could you explain what you think they're accomplishing, why they're wrong, and what people should be doing instead?
So, first of all, it appears to be a directive, indiscriminate directive, regardless of your physiological health and well-being in the first place. So the amount of pressure that you may be putting on yourself may be far beyond what your internal organs are capable of coping with. But your brain may just take that and run with it at the expense of your respiratory circulatory system and its effect on your general well-being and health. Secondly, the idea of creating so much stress in your body and directing circulatory metabolic oxygen to your skeletal muscles is really a little bit curious, because what sustains us is our internal organs. And these are going to be neglected in terms of circulating oxygen, because the demands on the diaphragm are so great that it can't keep the two in balance. Gentle exercise, which incorporates the way we breathe, without necessarily directing us to breathe in any particular way, but to listen and take stock of the sensations that occur when your breath is following and supporting your movement. So it is suggesting that everybody who wants to be fit is to observe the same practice, which is unfortunate in the first place. And secondly, it's putting a huge strain, which there's an oxygen debt to be repaid. So you're not going to feel so good because your internal organs are being drained. And we know this. We know this. If you heavily exercise, the next day you may find that your body isn't functioning as well as it ought to. It may feel that your digestive system isn't right, your process of elimination isn't right. You may feel aches and pains. You may feel a degrees of anxiety that you seem to have come out of nowhere, only because you've shortchanged all these other organs and structures of your body to achieve what? What are you aiming for?
What they like to say is, "Oh well, I before I could only run half a mile, now I can run a mile," and that's an indication of improved health.
So we're looking at health and longevity. And if you are ripping blood supply regularly away from your internal organs, you're going to be creating stagnation in those organs, and particularly where there are already weaknesses in terms of blood supply to them. And that stagnation is going to build up toxins in those organs. And then you may get a real problem with an organ of one kind or another. Which will lead you to go to a clinician who will then provide you with a drug to support that organ. And you might then continue to go on running without the slightest idea there was a connection.
But people feel stronger. They can lift more. They can run longer. And so based on that feedback, they think they're doing well.
Well, another factor is that kind of exercise, because it is already very focal, isn't going to allow you to develop the kind of balanced understanding of the world around you and yourself in it. When you're doing exercise say for instance, like yoga or tai chi, that the slowness involved in a lot of these exercises allows you to take stock of the internal balances within your body and your body in relation to the environment in which you live and in which you are moving, because we live under the laws of physics, if you like, which we forget about. Mm? But may sometimes think, why is it more difficult to go uphill than it is to walk on the flat? Even a small gradient can upset somebody. So what is happening here? What pressures are we actually under? There is so much that is missing from our education. If it was there in early childhood, where children are thirsty for it and are testing things out all the time, if given the opportunity, and not just placed in front of a television set or some equivalent, then we would understand ourselves and each other far more, and also be much more intrigued in things which are creative and life affirmative than the opposite.